Hey everybody, this is Ben with V4 Treasures, and I want to talk about what sold. My husband and I have had a great week going out and finding items, but we always want to see items going out, and we have been so blessed to see that every day this week we've had sales, and I wanted to share some of them with you. Some of the items sold the same day, and where are we finding these items? The same place you can. Estate sales, garage sales. In summertime, North America, lots of options. Of course, the thrift stores, online, Facebook Marketplace, things like that. But we also went, for us, for the very first time, we went to a flea market, and it was over 500 vendors and several miles wide, and we just walked and found a few things that there was enough what we call meat on the bone for us to purchase and then flip for a higher profit to someone that would want that product from around the world. And that's how this works, is that there are people that would, a flea market, if you live in Japan, you're never going to be able to go to that flea market and find that product. But we can, and we're going to put that expense of the work and the things for our business to the person in Japan. So it's all fair. Everybody's getting that great deal all the way along. That's what's so fun about this home decor vintage category. There's something in it for everybody, and there's value and income to be made from every stage of that product's life. So let's get into it and talk about what sold on eBay. And for our very first product, we have a baccarat vase. This is a crystal vase that was made in France, and this is actually from that flea market. We were able to find this item, and it was just at this lovely couple's booth. It was their first time at this market, and they had this little tiny vase, you know, about 5 inches tall, and it had the baccarat sticker, a little bit of damage there, but still really nice. And at the bottom of the vase, of course, you can see the baccarat logo. Very hard to see in a picture, but that's what we're trying to show there in that picture. So there is these lovely design that, you know, we haven't actually seen before, this ribbed kind of design. And I was able to list this with my husband. He actually listed this, took pictures, and it sold within just a few hours. But the price we feel is very right. We listed at 190, and somebody sent an offer of 156, which is very specific because you know what the difference is between 190 and 156? Their shipping cost. So instead of us putting in shipping, because this is not the real shipping, this is just don't worry about what you see on the screen there. The customer would like to get that free shipping, but it's hard for us to just say, hey, free shipping everybody, because there's such a variety in expense depending on where you live in the United States. And internationally, we definitely always charge shipping. So this was something that we always feel is a great opportunity with the make offer button, because it lets that flexibility be there for customers that really would value free shipping. So we're very excited about this baccarat selling. Definitely keep an eye out from the bottom of pieces. You can see this little etched logo. Very rarely will you see the sticker, actually. So this is a very fun find that we're really happy already has been mailed and out to the customer. The next piece is very memorable, means a lot to people that are my age. I was 18 years old when the Twin Towers were struck in 2001. And so this is a piece that remembers that in September 11th. And so it's a really beautiful physical piece that is by a brand to watch out for, Danbury Mint. So you can see there, even though it was crafted in China, there is still value just by the sheer realistic design there is. You can see it's about 8 inches tall. You notice how we're using the length in our pictures, an actual ruler. And so we accepted a slight offer on this one. I think it was 60 something, and we decided to let it go because you have a sale, you want to connect to that buyer that really wants it right then. For us, we like to leave room for that to happen. So we actually were able to find this, I believe, for $5 at a Goodwill, which is surprising. We're really grateful that they had it for the right price because they got it for free, and then we were able to flip it up for a little bit more. And so after the fees and expenses and everything, we made about $30, about half the price it was bought. But we made a pure $30 off of a $5 purchase. So we are really always looking to 10 times our money in our heads, because if we put 5, let's get 50, because in the end, you're gonna get maybe 30 or 25 even, but that's still 5 times. And if you do any type of business class, you're gonna see 5 times business growth is a really healthy sign that your business is going to succeed. If you are not meeting that 5 times, it's going to be a struggle because there's always unexpected expenses that we're not taking into account often in our business practices. Gas, travel, time, the energy of subscription costs and things like that. So that's our rule there. A little bit about that. The next product is the Eurorails board game. What a random game. Why would I want to show you this, YouTube? Why you awesome subscribers, friends of the channel, want to see this board game? It's because for me personally, this is the very first board game that I ever played and had a very important memory attached to it. It meant a lot to me. And we went to an estate sale Saturday, and I went down to this lady's cupboards and I saw a bunch of classic Monopoly, Scrabble, but then I saw Eurorails and the memory came to my brain, and I remembered playing as a kid, and that really started me down the path of loving board games. So I got it just for my own passions. And then I paid $3 for this. But then I went on YouTube, then I went on eBay, and I saw, oh, that is actually valuable for 50 bucks. And so I listed it, and I decided to let it go because there are a lot of new versions available if I really wanted to play again. But so it was just a benefit of doing this business of when you're working for yourself or in things that you're passionate about, you come across these things that you trigger a memory and emotion. It came on Saturday, it left on Tuesday. That's okay, time to move on. But what a fun experience to walk through those board games together. And you can see you use crayons to draw train tracks to deliver your goods back and forth. So a lot of fun there. That's a little story about Eurorails. The next is the Lladró brand. Spain is important to us. I think we talked about this in other videos. And so these are porcelain figures from Spain. These 2 polar bears have been with us for 1.5 years. Talk about a slow seller. And finally, we were able to connect with a buyer at $129. And I think we had them at $149 for a long time. And we just reduced it $30, and they sold finally within a week of doing that. So sometimes our prices are just slightly off. And yes, we could of course had the make offer on this whole time, but there might have been just that visual sign of people not feeling like that was in their price range. Maybe they're searching for 130 or less. But we were really happy to let these go, and we enjoyed them for the season they were with us. But we think they're very cute, really well made in Spain by Lladró. Definitely a brand to watch out for, but you need to be careful how much you pay when you buy them, because often you'll see in thrift stores, they're going to be charging $30, $40 if you can find them at all, because they might put them online themselves. So the Lladrós do not always sell for hundreds of dollars, or often tens. So just know that you need to do a lot of research on which particular Lladró you have. Of course, the bigger, the more valuable porcelain is. But here are some fun Lladró bears that took us 1.5 years to sell, but they did. Now we're going to go to a random piece that's worth a lot of money. Lennox Christmas houses and unique ones like that. So often we think of Department 56, and those are the best, very, very collectible. But Lennox is also valued and collected, because if you are a collector and you have all of your houses looking like Lennox, you don't want to get a Department 56. There's a match. So you are in the vein of Lennox. And here we are with this toy store. Look at all the details, all the fun moving pieces. It lights up. And how do we know it lights up? We made a video. So this piece we actually decided to put a video with. You can hear the noise, and we just found that connected to the buyers because they could actually see it works. Hear the music, see the light, see the movement. What a great assurance that this is going to be a piece that if you wanted to order will come to you in great condition. And they paid $200. We paid, I think, maybe at most $10, but it was now sold for $200. What a great investment. So we were thrilled to find this piece, and it did take about 9 months to sell, and it sold now in the summertime. Why is that? Took the buyer right now maybe was thinking about adding to their Christmas stock. A lot of people buy Christmas in July, so don't think that the summer months aren't Christmas seasons. People love to look and think about their upcoming Christmas season in the summer. So don't forget to look at the brand Lennox and enjoy that. If you are out there trying to run your own business on eBay, your own store, we are here to share, and this is why we're here. So Tiffany & Co. was what we found next. This was crazy. We walked up beautifully. We had 5 minutes, went into a Goodwill, and they rolled out a cart, and I just saw that little blue or you know, the Tiffany green sticker. And I was like, great, grab them. And they charged us 69 cents each. So they understood that there was no box. They were just 4 pieces. So we grabbed them. We were really happy, put them in our cart, and we listed them. And actually they sold within the week at $145. I think it was $120 that the offer was accepted at. Because when you're seeing this line crossed out, it means offer was accepted. So, but amazing to get something in and out of our store that quickly and invest just a few dollars for something that brings hundreds of dollars is a great treat for us. But of course, Tiffany & Co., very valuable in the resale market and very fun find. And you can always look for either the logo or the sticker. Of course, that's obvious. But I'm trying to show you here at the bottom how there's the logo etched in the crystal pieces. Very fun find. Tiffany & Co., special company, it means a lot to us. And then the next one is another Royal Dalton, another fine porcelain from England, very famous for their painted ladies. They also have these mugs that aren't very popular at all, but they're a company that really got into popularity through the and early 2000s. And now the value, I misspoke there. So not 2000s, from the early 1900s but 1950s, 60s, really expensive. And then we understand that in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, the value of one figurine would be hundreds of dollars. That's gone. They're not worth that anymore. Now they're worth $70 for the same piece that sold for $400. And so they are really not in favor right now. There is a certain market for those rare ones that are going to hold their value, but for the general Royal Dalton brand, they're not going to be something that you can just rely on to bring money every time. So be careful how much you pay for the piece when you're getting it. So here we have all these painted ballerinas, set of 3. So lots, bringing 3 together of the same type, the same genre, helped the attraction of this listing, that you could get multiple pieces in the same moment. So this is 1995 too, that these Royal Daltons were made. And this is handmade, hand decorated in England. Notice that logo? New ones are being made in Thailand, designed in England, made in Thailand, just the manufacturing costs. They've switched. So those, of course, are not going to be as valuable as the brand new ones. So just keep an eye out for those. Then, not overpaying for those. These sold at a sale, I think, of 130. So pretty big discount on the offer. But that's great. We're very happy to let them go because I know we've had them for a year at least. They haven't moved. And so we are very glad when a customer is willing to make us an offer. And that's what you never know with people, they don't know how long we've waited. We don't know their situation. So we connected and got them off, and they arrived safely, and they're very happy to have them added to their collection according to a positive review they left us. So we're very thankful for purchasers like that of this Royal Dalton brand. Hope you're learning something as we're going through this, or just relaxing to this conversation about vintage home decor. This is going to go back to a combination of the board game and the vintage piece together. So these are a fun find. Found them on the very top shelf of a Goodwill board game section. So I paid $2.99, and I recognized the box size and the pieces that were available. These are hand-carved German pieces. They isn't marked anywhere. It doesn't say that anywhere. So I didn't put that in the listing, but we recognize the style, especially of those horses. The way they look is something we've seen consistently as we go around, do life as resellers of vintage home decor and board games, apparently. So we have known these pieces just by experience. And the seller, the person that bought them, we hope that they would understand that these are the right ones too. So we don't want to mislabel the label of our listing in case it wasn't, but we recognize that the actual box that included the board and the pieces connected to what we understood as German made, and they bought them and they were happy with them. So this is, sometimes you buy something, list it according to what you know. Do not make up stuff. Do not make up things that might not be true, because that will only cause you harm. So, but you can still present it and say what it is without the names of the brands or countries in case you're not sure. And the buyers will make that decision if they want to take that risk, or maybe they have the knowledge we don't on a piece, and then you learn from them in the future. And finally, we're going to end here with art glass birds from the Leo Ward signature on the bottom. These are the Cardinals of Love. How nice. And these birds are hand blown, and you can see, if I can get to the very bottom picture, there you go. Everything's there, all the information, all the signatures, all the names you need, which is great for making a listing and connecting to collectors of these type of birds. We accepted an offer of $50 off of $55. Great offer. Let's let that go and get those out to the new owner of these lovely birds. Now, there's a lot of copies of these. There's a lot of versions that something's popular, you want to imitate. So when you see etchings inside the glass, that's helpful. Of course, the stickers are going to be helpful, but always pick them up, look at the bottom, and if you have the opportunity to see a real one, then you're going to know a fake one or know one that's not quite the same quality. And so that gives you that experience, but you got to go out and practice. So here we are. I'm going to end with one piece of advice at the end of this video. Thank you for staying tuned this far. Is go to antique stores in your local area and look at the expensive high-end stuff. If you're allowed, touch it, hold it, notice the quality, because when you are out and about, your brain, your hands will remember how that felt, how that quality looked, and then you'll notice when you find something that doesn't seem quite right. It looks like that bird, it looks like a royal Dalton, but there's something not quite as heavy or detailed as that piece I saw at that antique store. So go out and practice and discover what the original pieces were and the quality of those so you don't get mistaken for an aftermarket or duplicated version of that. So I hope that's helpful advice and gives us all something fun to do, as going to antique stores is quite fun because you never know what you're gonna find. I really appreciate you following our channel. Please subscribe, comment, engage with us if you're willing to. We'd love to know what you're interested in. I was really thankful to find out one of our followers learned something from that last video about how to go on eBay and set up your international shipping correctly. It's very weird. I'd recommend watching that if you haven't already. And otherwise, continue to stay tuned, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen next at Before Treasures in the world of home decor as we continue to learn all together. Please let me know if you've learned something or you have something that you identified that I did wrong. We'd love to know. My husband and I do review your comments, and we look forward to seeing what's next. But always remember, people before treasures. Have a good day.